Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Russo. Here's a kilo of gold. It's about 2.2 pounds. It's about 32.15 ounces. 1970, when I was born, this was worth about $1,000. $1,000. 54 years later, it's worth around $90,000. Take a seat, guys. It's worth about $90,000. 54 years, pretty decent. This is the greatest hedge against inflation. It's been around for thousands of years. Way before us, it's going to be around a lot longer after us. When you have something like this, you don't have to worry about the CEO cooking the books, the stock, plummeting, no Bernie Madoff, none of that. You don't have to worry about your cryptocurrency just vanishing overnight. You wake up, where's the crypto? God forbid my power runs out, you can't use the crypto. You don't have to worry about this. All right, gold has been around a long time, and it's going to be around a lot longer. This is a global currency. Anywhere in the world, civilized, uncivilized, it does not matter. People know gold. That being said, my name is Jim Russo. I'm the president of Metals Mint. We're located in Jupiter, Florida. We buy and sell gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. Before I tell you about what we do in our services, what I'd like to do is give you a little background on who I am and how I got here. I'm originally from the great state of New Jersey. I don't know about the great part or the new part, but it's Jersey. I went to Seton Hall University, graduated in 1992 with a degree in finance. Like most kids back then, you send out your resumes, no email. You mail these things out, people get calls, you go for an interview. I'm sure you're well aware of what's going on with that. Then, go to these interviews, you sit down, you talk to the people. One interview in particular was with Goldman Sachs. Back in New Jersey, I was probably about a half hour from the city. It took me about 2 hours to get into the city. I go in there, my suit is sweating. It's 1,000 degrees. I'm in an Olds Delta 88. I had $2 on me. I had to pay for the toll at the Lincoln Tunnel. I had no money after that, and my suit, I'm just wet. It's polyester, it's just terrible. I go for the interview at Goldman. I had hair back then, so I'm sweating. Somehow I get the job. I have no idea. They offered me $22,500 a year. I'm like, all right. I don't know how I got it, but I did. I'm leaving. They said, think about it. All right. So I left, driving back home, sweating, hot. You don't have to pay the toll on the way out. I don't know if that's still the same case. But I couldn't take it. I didn't like the job. I didn't want to go into the city. So 2 days later, I took a job at a small firm outside of Philadelphia, and I became a stockbroker. It's Philly. Cheesesteaks. I'm a big Pat's fan. Pat's cheesesteaks. There you go. There's always one in the crowd. You like Geno's?
Actually, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. But there's better ones? All right. So I went to work as a stockbroker. Now, a lot of times, I was like, I'm going to try this business, see how it works out for me. So I became a stockbroker. The first thing you start doing as a stockbroker is cold calling. So I apologize right off the bat. I was one of those people that called you up nonstop. It's the worst job I ever had. I hated prospecting. Cold calling was just terrible. So I tell my manager, I said, listen, thanks for the opportunity, but I'm going to quit. I'm going to go do something else. He says to me, Jim, you just turned 22. It was just my birthday. I just turned 22, and he says, give it a year. In a year, you'll be 23. What's the big deal? And I'm thinking to myself, that actually makes sense. He made sense to me. So I go home, and I talk to my dad. And I tell my dad, he's like, that's not a bad idea. That actually does make sense. So I stick it out. So I get into it. I give it a year. Took me a while to get some clients. It takes 3-4 months, and you just start getting clients, and then finally you get one. And that's when the business changed for me, is when I got a client. What I like more than anything is talking to the people, because they tell you everything about themselves. They're giving you money, but the stories that they tell you are just insane. And I'm 22, 23-year-old kid, and I have adults telling me the stories of their lives I've had clients that were in concentration camps, Jewish concentration camps. I've had fighter pilots have been shot down over Vietnam, who were POWs. There was some horrible stories. I had a lot of business stories, a lot of triumphs, a lot of military stories, and they're telling me these things, and you know, I'm this young kid, and what it does is it shapes who you are. It makes you an adult. You get older that way because you're learning about these people, and then you're also managing their money. Around 95, I moved down to Jupiter, Florida. I got married up, had a couple kids. Really, started to hone my sales skills. And in that time frame, from 95 to about 2005, I sold everything: mortgage-backed securities, futures, options, foreign currencies, bridge loans, public offerings, IPOs. I did everything. Obviously, stocks, bonds, mutuals. I did everything. Around 2005, 2006, I got into the gold business, and it's the physical market was weird for me because as a stockbroker, it's all theory, it's all paper. You don't really you never really touch it. There's something about this metal, silver and gold, it's addicting. I've had clients come into my shop, and we used to leave a 100-ounce bar of silver on our desk. Every single one of them had to touch it. I have no idea why. I think it's just coded in our DNA. It's instinctual, but it's addictive. And I thought I loved it. So at that time, we were just wholesaling. We had no retail business. We were just wholesalers. Around this time, one of our retailers had a client that had some numismatic metal. A numismatic metal, that's an example of a numismatic coin. A numismatic coin is worth more than the value of gold and silver. It's stamped weird. It's been around a long time. The mint made a mistake on it. It's pretty, and so it's a clean coin, but it's worth more than the value of gold or silver. I don't recommend this business. You normally buy retail and sell wholesale. It's a tough business to make money in. If you know the business inside and out, you can do it, but it's difficult. I would stay out of it. A lot of people lose their shirts trading in this market. So this client gives us a whole bunch of these numismatic coins. We're okay. So we go to the Orlando coin show. It's right here. I don't know where it was, but it was in Orlando. All these different vendors have, coins that they're selling. And we walk up to these guys and, what can you get us for these? The guy was expecting $200,000. That's what they were. He showed me the receipts and everything. 100 grand. All three vendors, around $100,000. This guy was not happy. And so we call him up and he's like, what do you want us to do? He says, I don't have much of a choice. I need the money. So, we take the deal. So we go to two out of the three vendors could not afford to send us the $100,000. And that was a business opportunity that we later took advantage of down the road, and I'll get into that. So one guy says, I can do the $100,000. I'm like, great. So I'm there with my partner, and I give him the coins. He gives me a piece of paper that says $103,000 on it. I'm like, okay. I give him the wiring instructions. Now what? He says, I'll send you the wire in about an hour. I'm like, an hour? I don't know this guy. We just met this guy. He's got all our metal. I don't even have a receipt for the metal. I just have a piece of paper that says $103,000. And I'm like, we're sitting there like a bunch of idiots. I'm like, all right, that's it? He says, that's it. I'll do it in about an hour. So we're nervous because it's a lot of money. So we get up and we walk away. And he says, gentlemen. And we walk back. He says, your word is worth your weight in gold. Welcome to the business. And he shakes our hand. And that was it. If there was a little bit of rock music in the background, that was the turning point for me. And that's when I fell in love with the business more than anything, is that guy saying those words to me, your word is worth your weight in gold. He shook our hands. I was like, a couple hours later, the wire hit. So that's the ending of that story. So for the next 15 years, that was sort of our mantra. The deal is a deal, build strong relationships. One thing I've learned in this business is that money is easy. Money is very easy. It's the relationship that's hard. Money comes and goes, but forming a solid bond with a client or a dealer, that's what's hard to do. And if you can do that, you'll make a lot of money. And that's what we did. For the next 15 years, as wholesalers, we forged these relationships. Around 2021, after COVID, we thought to ourselves, no, we have all these great relationships. Why not start doing retail? And that's when Metals Mint was born. Concierge service with great price. A lot of these companies out there, what they'll do is they'll just, take your trade, take your money, send them the metal. There's no human input. That's not what we do. If you're looking for that, we're probably not the right ones for you. What we do is, if you're local, come into our shop. We'll sit down with you for about a half hour, an hour, get to know you, have a plan for you of what we do, and go from there. Buy some metal there, wait a little bit. Whatever you want to do, we will cater a plan to your needs. Now, if you're not local, phone appointment. Sit on the phone with you for about a half hour. You tell us what you want, what you're trying to achieve, and that's it. And so, talk to the people that would come into your store. I'm back retailing again. I was a stockbroker for a long time. I was retailing then, and now I'm back retailing. One of the things I like is you get to talk to the people. And everyone that's coming in our store is saying pretty much the exact same thing. They're getting crushed. Okay, if you're making 80 or 90 grand a year, and your grocery bill goes from $100 to $200, that's a lot of money to have. That's a lot of money. And that's what people tell me. Their insurance is going up, grocery bills are going up, they're getting crushed. And so, you've probably heard of this before, inflation. A lot of people are talking about inflation. A lot of people don't know the definition of inflation. Inflation is rising prices. You got to think about that. The key word there is rising. Rising. If it's not rising anymore, then you don't have inflation. So everyone looks at eggs. That's a big thing, the cost of eggs. Eggs went from $2 to about $5.50. So what the Fed was trying to do is raise interest rates to constrict the supply of money, to reduce it. So by reducing the supply of money, you reduce inflation. You stop the rising part. That doesn't mean prices go back down. That's the problem. The prices do not go back down. They normally stay higher. But the Fed doesn't care about that. They're just trying to stop the rising part. And so we're stuck paying the high prices. And so when the market moves, when your bills go from 2021 to now, when they shoot up that quick, that's tough to manage. Now the Fed is trying to, like I said, stop inflation. They've done an okay job. They've recently started to lower the rates. I think that's a huge mistake. I think if you turn on that spigot and start making money cheaper, people are going to borrow, and you're going to see inflation come right back, if it hasn't gone at all. Now, the Fed has, in my opinion, has two problems. That's probably the biggest problem they've got, wage inflation. Waiters used to make tips were like $2 or $3 an hour. Now they're making $20 an hour. The guy at Publix, stocking shelves, $15, $20, $25. Who pays for that? Who pays for that increase? You. You pay for it. And so you're not going to get rid of that. Just imagine having a conversation with an employer. Hey, do it for the country. You're making $25 an hour. Make $8. I mean, they're not going to like that conversation. That's not going to happen. So the other problem that the Fed has, and it's a tough problem, is that down the street, there's a bunch of geniuses at work. I mean, very smart people at work. I got nothing. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's just, I don't think I've ever seen any group of people spend more than they take in on a regular basis. I mean, give me 1 year where they don't. But they consistently spend trillions more than they take in. So if we're taking in $4 trillion a year in taxes, and we spend $7, that's a lot of money. And that word trillion just gets tossed around. Trillion's a big number. Warren Buffett's right-hand man, he's no longer with us, his name is Charlie Munger. He said that inflation is the death of democracy. That's what he said. Inflation is death of democracy. Now, if you were to Google debt clock, That's our current debt right now. 35,700,000,000,000. That's our current debt. Right up there, you see that little green arrow? If you hit it and go to 2028, 47 trillion. So in 4 years, this is well within our lifetime. In 4 years, it's going to be 47 trillion if everything goes right. Nothing ever goes right with these people. So 47 trillion. So just imagine that's probably going to be between 50 and 55 trillion dollars over the next 4 to 5 years. How are we going to pay for that? What's going to happen? Inflation is coming back. It's not, if it's ever left. And so right now, at $47 trillion, the interest on the debt alone is going to be more than the defense budget. How are you going to pay that? How's that number going to come down? No one has ever been able to tell me how that's going to come down. And it's just not a Republican problem or a Democratic problem. They all do it. They all spend more than we take in. So you just can't blame one party. It's unbelievable how bad they are. And for the life of me, I've never been able to figure out why. I've come up with one answer. Now, the current generation is probably going to have to Google what that means, but they have no sweat equity. Just think about your local pizza guy. Everyone's got a local guy that you go to. What does he do? He gets up every single day, gets the dough ready, starts making the pizza, sets the tables, right? Has the lunch crowd, then he does it again for the supper crowd, comes home, spends time with the wife and kids, gets up and does it over and over again. That guy knows what the forks cost. He knows what the soda costs. He knows what the flour costs. He's got sweat equity. All right? These guys in Washington, they know nothing. They've been living the comp lifestyle for a very long time, and their motto is just charge it, charge it, charge it. The next guy will do it. The next guy will do it. Well, the next guy can't afford his grocery bill. The next guy is eating 2 times a day. That's what we're going to lead to, is not being able to afford to eat. Your gas. Right now, you think you're paying $80 for a gallon to fill your tank up? Imagine when it's 200. Those times are coming. So, what are you going to do to protect yourself from this? What are you going to do? These are our services. These are 4 things that you can do. First one is an IRA. IRAs, a lot of people don't like the IRAs because the paperwork is extremely complex. There's a lot of paperwork, but there's only really 4 or 5 pages to actually have to fill out. And what we will do at Metals Mint, we will walk you through step by step this process of how to fill out an IRA. And we actually put physical bullion in your IRA. No paper. I only deal with physical metals. We put the physical bullion in your IRA. It's a very simple process. And when you need to take out money, sometimes you have to do a required minimum distribution. Required minimum distribution. You don't have to take it out in cash. You can have the metal sent right to your house. You can take it out in bullion. Next thing is storage accounts. If you want to, you don't want to have an IRA, you can just open up an account at a depository. We can set you up with that. We can help you do that. These are the easiest accounts for us to do. All right? Because we have accounts at the depository as well. So if you have your own account, all I have to do is just slide the metal over to your account. Once that happens, it's your metal. I can't touch it. I can't do anything. The only person who can do anything is you. You have to send an email. You get the metal sent to your house, or you can send it back to us if you want us to buy it. The next thing is home delivery. A lot of people out there are saying, if I don't hold it, I don't own it. Big common theme. I don't hold it, I don't own it. Okay, we will drop ship it right to your house. If you're a local and you want to have it picked up at our facility, just stop on by and you can pick it up. The last thing is the 2-way market. This is what we did learn from the people in Orlando. Not only do we sell metal, but we'll buy it back. Big deal. So if you have that depository account, all you have to do is send an email, slide it right back to our account, and we'll buy it back. We'll wire you that money. You come into our store, we'll give you the money, wire it to you, you give us the metal, very simple. So that's the thing that we learned, is that we can also buy it back. That pretty much sums up my presentation. Now it's the questions and answer time. Hopefully I can answer them. Go ahead, man.
If you have your gold in your IRA and you have to take your distribution, you just said you'd buy it back, so you'd send it as cash.
Say that again?
when you have to take your distribution from your IRA, you would buy the gold back and provide the cash for the distribution.
Yes, we buy the gold back. So you call it. You have to fill out a piece of paper. The gold is then given to us, and we wire you the money.
And what ratio do you use to figure out what the cash value is for the amount of gold?
Well, it depends on what you bought the gold at. If you bought the gold at 2,700 and it's going for 3,500, you made some money.
They might get by.
Jim, you say that you prefer silver.
Yes.
How many types of silver coins do you have, and what would be your top coins?
Well, I stick to generic rounds. One thing, the most important thing, the number one rule is the closer you are to spot, the better you are. If silver's trading right now at 32, and I can buy it for 34, that's a good trade. If I buy an eagle, a silver coin, that's going to cost me $36, $37. I wouldn't buy that. You want to buy it because it's pretty? Okay. I would just stick to generic rounds. Any type of generic rounds, as long as it's 999 or 49s, you stick to generic rounds, you're good to go. 10-ounce bars, that's fine. 100-ounce bars, those are fine. But if you can get 1-ounce rounds, that's where you want to go. Because when you take your distribution out of your IRA, the smaller increments that you have, the less metal that you have to have shipped to you. Any other questions? Oh, I guess it is. I just want to say one thing before I close. I told you a lot about the markets today, about gold and silver. There's one thing I haven't told you about this thing. This here is a report card on your currency. It's a report card on your currency. I guess you know what grade I give it. I'll let you decide what grade you want to give it. I don't think it's going to get better. I can't see a way out of this mess. I just cannot see it. And this is one thing that will help you, will hedge yourself against the tsunami of debt we got coming our way. So, that being said, my name is Jim Russo. I'm the president of Metals Mint. We got a booth over there. Come by and see us. It's a pretty cool 1,000-ounce bar. And as always, may good fortune follow you. Take care. Thank you.